Hey guys, it's me, Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. Hey guys, guess what? We're going to talk about our favorite subject, which is sales. All right. Our subject for today is what was the topic? Selling. How I passed my real estate license. What did he say? I said selling. How I passed my real estate license. And I'm going to tell you what, I didn't just stop at one thing. I had like three things that I was working with that helped me to pass my test. And at the same time, I was also studying to re-up my license to sell life insurance. And I'm going to tell you what, that ain't a great way to do it. Your best idea is to set your mind on one topic, one task, and get it done the first time. Don't wait to the end of your selling career to get started either. If you're young or old, anybody can get the real estate license, but you have to wrap your mind around it. It's a new lifestyle. It's a new wonder. It's a new opportunity. And here we go. How did I first get into it? I went to a couple of different companies and I asked, hey, well, what do I need to do to get into real estate? Well, they told me I needed to go ahead and set myself up with a 63-hour course. Now, you can do it online, okay, or you can do it in person. They have some workshops where you can do it at colleges, or you could do it on a week, in a whole week. You can go to school just for one whole week. But for me, I needed something a little bit more different. And then the place that I went to, the name of the company is Florida Real Estate Institute, Inc. They're at 590 Wells Road, Suite 1 in Orange Park, Florida, 32073. I went there and they set me up. They gave me the capability because it costs you a little bit of money, almost like $500 to get yourself going, plus your book and everything. And they gave me 2 nights a week for 8 weeks. And it was from 6 p.m. to 9:45. And I'm going to tell you what, I really learned a lot. And they also gave me a great book in this regard. And I'm going to tell you what, this book, it is thick. It is thick. I mean, it is thick, full of information. And they gave you the capability by having this book to have somebody walk you through the process. And I had a great teacher. His name was Bob. He's an older guy. He'd been in real estate for a long, long time. And he kind of walked us through the process. Now, in this particular book, it has all the different opportunities for you to learn the fundamentals all the way to most sophisticated stuff that needs to be learned when you're selling real estate. And I'm going to tell you what, God dang, there was a lot of information and I felt like a little bit overwhelmed. And, in that 8-week course time, at the end of it, you had to take a test. You had to pass at least with a 70. I was fortunate enough to be able to do that. I passed it, but I didn't know what I was doing. I felt really lost because I just felt like something's not right. I need a little bit more training. And some people, they can do it. I'm telling you what, and then the gentleman who wrote this book is Dr. Ronald O. Boatwright, PhD. Now, he wrote this big old book. He also wrote a smaller version that they use on a week, a course for a weekly thing. And they have these things called TLOs, which are most important things that you have to target learning. And then they have all these different opportunities for you to take tests within tests and smaller tests, and then you eventually had to take your final test. But see, for me, I'm one of these kind of people that, what I did was I started recording myself because you've got all these different chapters and the TLOs, those most important things that you need to know. So what I did was I started recording myself. Now, I love to record myself because I can ride along as I'm selling during the day or when I'm getting up in the morning or showering. I can listen to good information, and that's what I did. And I put that in my brain. On top of that, it was really interesting, but I felt still as though I needed something else. So the second thing that I got involved with, it's on YouTube. I got involved with this guy. It's called Prep Agent, Real Estate Exam Prep. And the gentleman that's a big part of this, his name is Joseph Jutter. I'm telling you what, this guy's got a great website on YouTube. They give you the capability. And I think I paid for an extra course for like $89 because I needed more. And this guy had so much stuff on the YouTube videos that were for free. I wanted to get involved because there were some other things that I could work on, like practice exams for my state for sure, because everybody lives in a different state. Exam prep videos, audio lessons, flashcards, exam prep ebook, webinars, vocabulary, worksheets. And that's just a lot of information that I was able to use along with the training. Now, I was one of these kind of people that I worked, 7 days a week, working, running businesses and trying to make it. You may be able to just take one thing and be able to pass it right off the bat. But for me, I was always on the go. So I needed to be fed a lot of information. Plus, I was taking another course at the same time, and I felt like overwhelmed. Hey, let me be honest with you guys. The first time I took my test, I failed it by 1 point. I'm an honest salesperson, so I tell the truth. I couldn't believe it. I made a 74. I looked at it and I was like, oh crap. Now, when you go to finally pass your exam, they don't tell you what your score is. But when I took it the second time, I'm going to tell you what, I was ready for bear. I went and took the test. I was serious about what I was doing, and I passed that test. So what I'm sharing with you is some things that I use as far as tools to help me to be able to pass my test. Remember, you can probably go to one organization or get online. You can study. But see, I wanted to know a lot more about what I was selling. A lot of people, they sell stuff, but they have no clue about what they just learned. I'm a little bit slower learner. If you're a fast learner, cool. That's wonderful. But for me, it doesn't matter. You just got to get your license so you can get to work. And people will tell you that it doesn't matter what your scores are. It doesn't matter what you know. But see, I'm sorry. For me, if I'm going to have a conversation with somebody and I'm walking into a field, I know that from my own personal experience as being a salesperson all these years, I kind of like to want to have an idea of what the hell I'm talking about. And it took me 5 months to be able to get my license. Now, some people say, damn, that takes too long. Well, the first 2 months was 63 hours, okay? And I was working, and I'm telling you what, I wasn't one of these kind of people that wanted to jump right on in it. Like I said, I passed my test. I was really excited and everything. Then it started to become the holidays. It was Christmas. Everything was jumping on me. I'm taking courses, and I got all these other courses that I have to pass, 45-hour a course that I had to take, and it was just overwhelming. So I thought to myself, well, let me just take my time and rehearse. Now, sometimes the teachers will tell you should go ahead and jump on that test as soon as possible. And the reason why they tell you that is because if you don't, you may forget stuff. Well, see, for me, how could I forget stuff that I didn't even know? And like I said, you see the book right here, you have to excuse the mess. This book was chock full of great information and tests and math. Remember, you got 10 math questions that you got to know to be able to pass your test too, guys. And what happened was I needed an outside source. So I went to Prep Agent, and I'm going to tell you what, that was really, really good. I mean, I would sit there while I was showering, getting ready in the morning, and he makes it fun. The videos were a lot of fun and stuff. It was just really kind of a cool thing. Now, the other thing that I took that I was real fortunate to run into is this right here. Now, this right here is Florida Real Estate Prep Book, and it's written by David Collins. Okay, David Collins gives you the real estate law principles and practices, and also the rules, the math, and it also gives you 4 big tests that you can take, and you have the capability to be able to, pass the test. Remember, I'm one of these kind of people that I need a lot of things in my life to help me to be able to pass a test. Now, finally, like I said, I passed my test. I got my license, and I'm very grateful that I have my license, but I have to tell people what helped me to be successful. Now, if we go back, like I said, to the Florida Real Estate Institute, the education, they also gave you some capabilities to go to as many workshops as you want to. This workshop was like a weekend. It gave you an overview of the whole entire test. And what they did was they walked you through with a review and test questions and stuff, the most asked questions and things that were for practice tests. And I'm going to tell you what, it was really good because when I went and listened, I ran into a lot of people who had been there who hadn't even passed the class test. So I was real fortunate that I passed the class test. I don't know how I did it, but I'm being quite honest with you. This shit was hard. It was real hard. But I was like, the lady, when I told her, I said, I don't think I passed it. She looked at it. She said, Gary, you passed it. I barely passed it, but I passed it. And see, the key to success, she says, now you got to get into studying. And so I went and talked to the professor. I talked to, Ronald Boatwright, the PhD, who wrote the book and everything, these people actually let me come into their office. On top of that, they let me save up. I came into their facility, and it took me like about, I don't know, about a month and a half, 2 months to have the full amount of money to go ahead and pay for the course. Some people will let you do that, and these people were real nice to me. They let me go ahead and pay as the course as I go, and then when I finally got it, I was able to set my classes up for the evening, and I was able to work full time and study, and I felt really cool, but I really felt strange because they used to like learning a new language. That's the way they described it, and you really got to get your glossary terms down. The more you look, if you're going to learn something, you need to know what's involved in the whole process. And if you're trying to get your license, my name is Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. I've got a lot of other certifications and licenses that will work with me with my real estate license. So I shared this with you because this is the process that I went through. Now, maybe you might make it simple, take one course and you pass, but I've talked to too many people who didn't pass. They felt overwhelmed, and a lot of people, they don't even try the second time. I'm going to tell you what, we're winners. We're salespeople. We don't need to quit, so we need to keep on keeping on. So I'm sharing this with you. And like I said, with this particular school, Florida Real Estate Institute, they were real kind to me. They kept telling me, Gary, you can do this. You can do this. You need mentors. And the people that trained me in this gave me the capability to keep coming back and asking questions. I kept saying, well, I don't understand this. I don't understand that. Walk me through the process. What else should I do? What's the next thing? And then remember, you're going to go take your state test eventually. Because once you pass your class test and you've done all your prep work and everything, you're going to go take your test. And when you go to Pearson's, before you even get there, they've done background checks on you. They fingerprinted you. They make sure you're of good character. They set up a date for you. They let you come down there. I always do this. You go early, so if you don't know where the location is, go the day or two or four and find the location and introduce yourself. And you bring your driver's license, your IDs. You have to have multiple IDs, and they'll take pictures of you to make sure you are who you are. If you got some cool glasses, they'll sit them on this thing, and they'll make sure that those glasses ain't gonna give you the capability to cheat. They give you lockers, they give you headphones, they give you, if you need something to write on, if you got something that you just think you need to write down when you get in there, write it down. They walk you through the format of the test. The test, like I said, it's kind of complicated. It's got a lot of information, so you definitely want to pull from as many places as you can to get educated. And like I said, with the prep, with the Florida State exam, prep weekends that I had some people that gave me from Keller Williams that gave me a book, about prep book, and let me use that. They let me come and listen to it. I went to a couple of other seminars because see, I didn't know what to do. I was scared. I just wanted to pass the test, but I really felt like, God dang. And I was listening to this audio. Any and everything that you see, I recorded it in my own voice. I even put it at nighttime sometimes to listen to it, lay there for hours and just listen to this stuff when I woke up in the morning. I know it sounds like a lot, guys, but it really, really is important. Once you pass your class test, they're going to give you a little certificate like this that you take to, Pearson, or whoever does your testing. They're going to walk you through the process. And remember, Essentials Florida Real Estate Education, awesome book, awesome information, great training. I probably could have passed it without any of this other stuff, but I'm not that guy. I need a lot of information from a lot of venues. And then we had the prep agent. The prep agent, remember, you had practice prep videos, audio lessons, recordings. He's got his own recordings. You can even get CDs and buy them from him and listen to the same stuff. And I'm going to tell you what, he's got all kinds of stuff for vocabulary. His name is Joseph Jutter. I'm going to tell you what a guy. I'm telling you, I'm really grateful to you. If you ever hear me, guy, on YouTube, you're badass. I love your stuff. And then the Florida Real Estate Prep book. And those people that walk me through a process who talk to me from different companies that are trying to buy my, get me to come work for them, they gave me a lot of input and ideas and information. And they asked me, now I'm walking through a process to where I'm going to be working. And, see, you got real estate where you can do like selling homes or retail stuff like buildings and things of this. And you can get into leasing. There's just a lot of different things that you can do. And it's like, man, I know so much information now. Now I've got to take a 45-hour class of continuing you an education so that way I can still sell. In the first 2 years, you got to have that as a continuation the first year. And if you don't get it, you'll be getting it at the end of the year. It'll be too much information. So while your mind's fresh, go ahead and get that knocked out of the park. My name is Gary Lee Stanley. We just had a great conversation about selling, how I passed my real estate license. There you go. My name is Gary Lee Stanley. I hope you enjoyed the video. It's got a lot of great information and a lot of great people and different things that you can use to get your license to sell real estate. And like I said, I'm very fortunate. God is good to me. And I want to thank my family and friends who had to put up with all the bull crap for 5 months. Like I said, man, I was all over the place studying all different types of things, had brand new products that I was selling. It just seemed like so much. And you know what? Finally, by the grace, I give God the glory, I passed. Okay, it feels good. It don't matter what your grade is when you pass. When you pass, you got to have a 75 or above. And I know I did well, much better than that, because I was prepared. I learned, and I did what I needed to do. I studied my butt off, and I'm going to tell you what, I had to do it at my leisure. I couldn't just do it, like some people where they can just sit and sit and sit. I was working, brand new products I was selling. I had brand new companies I was working with. Also, I had to pull a bunch of resources. I had to go to school. I had to take care of my kid. So everybody's got things that they have to do, but I'm just telling you, you can do this. My name is Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. We just had a great conversation about selling, how I passed my real estate license. Now it's time to go sell something. Dang, that sounds real good. All right.